Let us continue with our chapter fiber to fabric. So in the last class or in the last session we have studied about the process of obtaining the wool. Okay, so what are the different steps that are involved in process of obtaining the wool? So there we have studied different steps like shearing, scoring, sorting and dyeing and many other process where finally the wool is obtained and different fabrics are produced. So in this session we will study about the silk fiber. So you might have seen children, your grandmother or your mother wearing the silk saris. So how this silk is obtained? We have studied that silk is obtained from the silkworms. So how this silk fiber is converted into the fabric, what are the process involved there? So in this session we will study what is the process involved in the conversion of the silk fiber into the fabric. But before that we have to know about the life history of the silk moth. So let us know about the life history of the silk moth.
Silk is very important natural fiber. It is soft, lustrous, elastic, and strong. You will surprised to hear that yarn produced by them is much stronger than the steel wire of similar thickness. More important is it can be colored very easily. There are different varieties of silk like mulberry, Ari, Tassar, and Moga silk. All are of commercial importance. Most commercial silk is mulberry silk, which is very fine white fiber. Silk fibers are obtained from cocoon of silkworm. So let's understand the life cycle of silkworm and how cocoon is formed by them. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. Let's talk about one of the egg. When the young organism growing in the egg reaches to the larva stage, it comes out of the egg. Now the organism is known as caterpillar, also called as silkworm. The silkworm feeds on the leaves of mulberry plant when it grows and is ready to enter into next stage of life cycle called pupa. It starts weaving a net around itself. It then swings its head from side to side in the form of figure 8. During these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes fiber made of a protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Silkworm covers itself completely and enters into the next stage of its life cycle called pupa. The covering so formed is called cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the pupa grows and becomes a moth. The silk fiber is obtained from the cocoon of the silkworm. The rearing of the silkworm for obtaining cocoons made of silk fibers is called sericulture. I hope, children, you understood the life cycle of the silkworm completely.
Children, you understood about the interesting life history of the silk moth. So now we will study about the rearing of the silkworms. So how the silkworms are reared and what are the different conditions that have to be maintained for the rearing of the silkworms. And after rearing, what are the different processes where the processing of the silk is done to get the silk fabric. So all this we'll study in detail in this session.
The rearing of silkworm to obtain silk fiber is called sericulture. The people who practice sericulture are called silkworm farmers. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. These are stored on a strip of cloth or paper carefully and then sold to a silkworm farmers. They keep these eggs in favorable condition and under suitable temperature. The eggs are warmed so that the young organism called larvae break the shell and come out of the egg. Normally, it is done at the time when mulberry trees bear fresh leaves. The larvae called caterpillar or silkworms eat day and night and increase enormously in size. They eat the mulberry leaves and grow in the size. The larvae are kept in clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves for about 25 to 30 days. The caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin the cocoons. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar develops into silk moth. The cocoon are boiled, kept under sun, or exposed to steam. By doing so, silk fiber separates out, and the process of taking out the threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. Reeling is done with the help of special machines which unwind the threads or fibers of the silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads, which are woven into silk cloth by the weavers, and we get silk fabric like silk cloths and silk saris. There are different kind of silk moth which produce different types of silk fibers. The differences arise based on their texture, that is coarse, smooth, or shiny appearance. In India, sericulture majorly done in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Assam and Bodoland, West Bengal, Jharkhand and Tamil Nadu.
I hope children you understood about the rearing of the silkworms on applying the different conditions, and also you have studied about how the processing of the silk is done to get the silk fiber. So I hope you understood this session about the silkworms. So by this we have completed the third chapter, fiber to fabric. So in the next session we will continue with the next new chapter.